So COVID-19, we saw the markets crash and then the markets recover, and a lot of things that the government did, which actually stimulated the economy. Interest rates went down, and things were looking very good very soon after COVID. Is this time, the post Iran war, will things look the same? Probably a big no, because of the oil shock that we as a country are experiencing. And this video is about how to manage your 2026. There are some good things, positive things, encouraging things, and there are also some not so, where you have to be cautious and be in a preventative mode. So in this video, I'm going to cover all this. It's a short video, but very effective video for families, for couples who want to manage their wealth and who want to ensure that they grow their wealth. And this year will be a very important defining year. Hopefully, there is a lot of takeaway for you. Hi, I am Franky Fernandes. I'm the founder of Harmony and Money. My goal is to help couples to grow their wealth, but without sacrificing their relationship. And I'm a certified financial planner, and I'm also a marriage coach. And my goal is to help families, enjoy a good married life and at the same time grow their wealth. So let's get into today's video, which will be a very important video for each of you. So in this video, what I want to cover is two major things. One is saving and investing, and the other is spending, including loans. And what is the impact that each of us will experience, and how we can convert this into our advantage, actually translate this crisis situation to our advantage, because there are only so many things that you can do. Yes, the government will definitely do a lot of it, but there's something that you have to do, we have to do. And just thinking negative and we can't do anything about it will not help. We have to take steps to make this a positive experience despite all this uncertainty. Well, the number one thing is that even before I get into the main part of the video, the war is still on and we do not know when this will end. Definitely it will end in April, most probably, or may end in the next month. Well, definitely this will end. But by the time it ends, it will leave behind scars from the war globally, and definitely on India. Now, the number one reason why I'm doing this video is to warn us, is to caution us that we have to be careful. And as I said, there are two things: investing and spending. So investing, I will talk about it a little later, but let's start first with the expenses, spending. Now remember that because of this war, the oil prices have gone up. So the crude oil per barrel was around $62 per barrel. And right now it is $108 per barrel. This is the increased price that we as a country are going to pay. So India imports nearly 90% of its requirement from abroad, from foreign markets, and we pay that in dollars, which means our expenses have gone up for crude oil. And eventually this will impact many industries, many companies in the country, and that impact will be felt in what we purchase, in our groceries, in what we purchase, not just petrol and diesel, not just travel, but a lot of things which depend on oil, depend on petrol and diesel, right? So there'll be a big change. Things will not be the same as they were in February 2026. The world has changed, and the biggest impact will be felt by all of us. Now, companies will pass on this to consumers, which means companies' profits probably may not change so much. Probably the demand may come down because people may not purchase as much as earlier, but they will continue to earn those profits. And that is a good thing which I'll be talking about. But consumers like you and I are going to spend, because inevitably there will be inflation. And I know that the government, the RBI, will try to control, but then there are things that are beyond the government, especially when it comes to crude oil. And oil on which we depend, if we're paying such a high price, obviously we will all face that. And there will be some kind of inflation. Prices will gradually go up. I'm hoping it is not, but it could be inevitable. And when prices go up, you and I will be hit. Remember that your salaries may not go up as much as the prices, because all the companies will be under pressure. And now, in this situation, what can happen? Obviously, your monthly budget will go up, definitely. Second, your loans, your EMIs may get a hit if the bank, if RBI increases the rates. See, right now, RBI, in the recent past, RBI was cutting rates. When rates are cut, interest rates go down, which means it is good for us. But now with the inflation going up, and if the inflation is not under control, then the interest rates may go up. Let's hope it doesn't happen in 2026, but if it goes up, it'll impact your EMI. Now, in these circumstances, what we should do? What are the things we could do? Because prices will go up, your EMIs, the interest will go up. What do you do about it? Number one, do not take new loans. Definitely be careful about your new loans. Do not take new loans, new EMIs, because things are not looking good. Your EMIs may go up. Secondly, if you have your existing EMIs and if you have probably cash which you can prepay your loan, you can actually reduce the impact, because an interest rate, 0.5% interest rate going up can impact your EMI by thousands, or the number of years will go up. So the best thing is that don't take new loans, no personal loans, no home loans. Secondly, if you can repay some of your loan, that might help you so that you are not impacted. And then obviously beware of lifestyle inflation. And what is lifestyle inflation? See, well, when we talk about core inflation, we talk about a lot of other things. Those are the basic necessities. But there are other things that we spend for our lifestyle, which is also called as a discretionary spending. Buying things, for example, mobile or clothes or shoes or maybe vacations or this and that. All that is lifestyle, is to maintain our lifestyle. And the lifestyle inflation definitely will be hit. So you have to take care, ensure that you do not go overboard. Be careful, because prices will be going up. Prices will be up this year. So beware what you are spending on. And yes, LPG is under pressure, because we do not have LPG plants where we convert that crude oil, the raw material, into LPG, because most of our LPG is imported. And as you would have already heard about Qatar and the others, which provide a huge percentage of LPG where we purchase from, and these countries have got impacted. And according to them, it may take years for them to rebuild that facility. So just imagine LPG will be under pressure. So obviously we need to switch to like piped gas or electric gas stoves or induction stoves. So that is the way we can actually protect our monthly budget, our monthly bills. So that was all about spending. So yes, beware, be careful what you spend, how you spend, because if things don't turn out to be bad as we expect, all that money saved is yours. You can spend during the festival, in the year end, and whether it is Diwali or Christmas or whatever, you can actually spend as you like. But if you spend now on unnecessary things and the prices keep going up and you are under pressure, then you may not be able to enjoy those festivals and those times where you can actually have a good time. So you must be careful. Now, this was about the spending. And now, before I get into investment, there's one caution, one thing I want to talk about, which is from the financial planning perspective, which is ensure that you have a good emergency fund. Yes, remember that risk planning is very important, and you can actually watch my video on financial goals where I've actually explained this on emergency fund and insurances. So ensure that your emergency fund is in place, and your insurances, especially your health insurances. Remember that prices, as they go up, hospital bills will go up. So if you should have an adequate health insurance. And when things go bad, especially because of AI induced job losses, and now with this post-Iran war, jobs are not so secure as they were. So, so best thing is to ensure that you have enough emergency funds. So even if you lose your job in these circumstances, you don't have to take up any job just because you don't have money, but you can actually bargain, get a good bargain because you have a good, strong emergency fund. So ensure that you have your emergency fund and your health insurance. So now let's move into investments. Now, what about investments? Yes, even in my previous videos, and I'm sure you've been watching a lot of videos, markets are down, but they are they are great opportunities for all of us. The valuations are very attractive, and whether it is large caps, mid caps, and small cap, especially mid cap and small cap, seem to be very attractive. So I am a big proponent of mutual funds. So my encouragement will be that consider investing or increasing your equity allocation to mutual funds, large caps, flexi caps, mid caps, and some to small caps. Yes, there are multi caps and multi assets. Yes, because gold and silver will continue to shine as long as there is uncertainty. So they are also very good assets. So ensure that you have all these mutual funds. The greatest reasons why they're attractive is just look at it. Even as I'm talking to you, considering today's markets at on April 2nd, 2026, we are down by 15% from the peak we saw in November 2025, around 85,900 or 86,000, the index. And since the war began, we're down by 12%. Now it may go down further, I do not know, but more or less this is the bottom. And even if it falls a little more, probably it may go down by another a couple of percentage. So right now, it is the best time because once the market recovers, the war ends. We even if we go back to our pre-war levels, we'll gain back that lost 12%. Actually, if we go back to the pre-war levels, we have lost 12%, but when it goes up, what you've invested, it will be 14% profits. So I don't know when this will happen and all, but there's a high probability that it will go back to the pre-war levels sooner than later. And if it goes back to the high, the BSE Sensex high, it is much more. So things are looking good. It may, even if it takes 6 months, and if you get 15% or 14% gains in 6 months, is a great thing. Even if it is 1 year, it's fantastic. It is even then it is fantastic. So the logic here is that right now the markets are down. Great opportunity, not just Indian markets, but also the Asian markets, the Europe markets, the global markets. Yes, you can check my video on investing globally and why you should invest. So this is a great opportunity. Your 10 to 15% allocation can be to global, but the rest of it should be in India, and also some exposure to gold and silver ETFs. Great opportunity to invest in mid caps and small caps, which have actually fallen much more. Because if the inflation were to persist or go up and persist this year, your real returns will be less. So which means you need to get more returns. And it's a golden opportunity for all of us that even though there could be inflation, the markets may go up back again and you will get those gains. So invest more and spend less. That should be your philosophy this year in 2026 to get the best out of your income, and how to grow your wealth, because markets this cheap, you will not get it again. And we do not want this war. We don't want this again. So make the best use of it. Finally, and this is something that I keep telling all my clients, my community members, is that always do this together as a couple. So spend more time discussing with your spouse what you should do right now. Don't take unilateral decisions. Talk with your wife, talk with your husband. What should be your game plan for 2026? Sit together on a money date, if required weekly, and in these times, and then you can make it monthly. Talk about it, where we should cut down, where we should invest, how we should conduct ourselves in 2026. Because if you do that, you will gain, your spouse will gain, your children will gain, your family will gain in 2026. So convert this hard times in 2026 to your gains, and everything around us is giving us this opportunity. All the best. Hope there is some learning for you from this short video. Please implement, apply it in your life, and enjoy the benefits, because hard times won't last for too long, and taking advantage in these times is something that we all should do. All the best. If you like this video, please show me a thumbs up. And if you've not subscribed, please do subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you liked, what you didn't like. All the best.